Wondering, this is going to be winner semis between Catfight and T-Loc.
Right, man. This is going to be Shadow Mewtwo versus Chandelure.
Yeah.
And, man, who was thinking? And we saw this yesterday, actually, Angbad versus Swillow. You know how that ended. Swillow with the extreme pop-off, and Angbad was not too happy.
Angbad was... Dude, he moved his return flight up early, man. He was out
He's gone.
He was out the state.
He didn't even want to enjoy the rest of Dreamhack, he said.
It's like, thanks for having me, but I'm done, man. I'm done. So.
Alright, Tweet is on deck. Now we're good. But yeah, Catfight, of course. I feel like he's a little bit more experienced in both the Shadow Mewtwo matchup and playing Chandelure in general. So I don't know, this could go either way. I don't know how often T-Loc gets to play with very strong Chandelure players as Catfight, but
yeah, dude, Catfight is definitely up there among the best, if not the best Chandelure I've ever seen. Guy just gets it.
Yeah, I think he's on another level compared to the rest of the Chandelure players. So I don't know, this should be interesting, I guess.
Yeah, I would imagine you have to be. I mean, it's winter semis, Pokken. This was an extremely tough event to grind through. So again, shout out to all of our top 8 competitors.
I think honestly, like, any Shadow Mewtwo match is going to be really exciting because it's so easy to. Of course, that character is super volatile, does so much damage, but at the same time, it has the lowest health in the game.
So it's like, all right, it took 5 hits, dang. You know what I mean? Like, but that's such a good balance.
Took a jab combo, man. I'm at 30% health right now.
It's such a good balance to the character because you need that.
Yes.
Considering
the amount of damage that he does, of course. All right, so let's get it on. The first match of our top 8 Pokken tournaments at Dreamhack Austin 2016. I love saying that, man.
I know.
Pokken tournament.
I let you kind of just do your thing. I see you gearing up. I see the excitement flaring. So let's go. All right. Well, with Cresselia on T-Loc's side, not too much surprise about that.
Man, yeah, the Cresselia Reshiram set is pretty much a set you're going to be seeing. I'd say most often, but I guess it really depends on the matchup. Both T-Loc and Catfight seem to like it a lot.
Okay.
Alright, so Field Phase is the phase where I feel like Shadow Mewtwo wins against most characters, but I think Chandelure has the means to beat Shadow Mewtwo in Field Phase, but still has to be very careful. In Dual Phase, though, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I absolutely agree with you there because it's just that strong projectile game. It's just so much for a lot of characters to overcome. So here in Dual Phase is really where you're going to see, I feel like, start to shine if he's able to get in there and get that damage ruined.
Yeah, even being out of being out of Chandelure's range. Oh,
that
overheat.
Yes.
Yeah, being outside of Chandelure's range is not a bad place for Shadow Mewtwo to be at all because the pillar of light that he does just completely beats anything Chandelure does.
All right, bursting up. Speaking of which,
look at all this damage that Chandelure is taking. Once again, back into Field Phase, breaks that grab and immediately grab back.
Yeah, returning it. Gonna shift this here.
Oh,
good hex!
This is going to take a lot of damage from that low status, but he'll live with 22 health.
Barely surviving that. Oh, but going to sneak that. Do we have a name for that yet?
It's just Beam. It's just called Beam. It's technically just called his range attack.
The Shandy Spec.
The Shandy Spec.
Shandy Spec, man. Naming it here. Live. Dreamhack. Let's go. Round 2. Okay. Hopping over the flame. Just trying to close the space very quickly.
Alright, so that Flame and Ice Sword that Shadow Mewtwo does destroy projectiles in front of him, so you're going to see T-Loc do that a lot when he wants to get in.
Of course.
I know this Catfight Turtle, he seems to do Hex, I was about to say, he seems to do Hex way more than other Chandelure players do, and it's a great command grab, and people seem to be getting blown up by it a lot. So
throughout this tournament, I mean, we've seen just how effective it's been for him. I recall, 2-3 rounds yesterday actually ended up closing him the game for him.
Yep.
Those critical moments. Definitely getting its use as my man dropping the Cresselia here.
Yeah, getting a little bit of health back.
Immediately go into burst mode. Oh, but gets caught in the air. Shandy Special.
Again, we see Catfight trying to close out with a sneaky Hex right there. He seems to use it a lot as soon as the face shifts, or he just tick throws into it after that down strong. Now, T-Loc in a precarious position.
There he is.
And he can honestly still win this.
He's bombarding that block.
Yes. Okay, so every single time, closes it out with that sweep. So every single time T-Loc does Miracle Eye, he loses some health, but when you're at one health left, you do not lose any health.
It does. So, at that point, it doesn't matter.
So at that point, you can just throw it out for free.
That's a really interesting mechanic that Pokken kind of has right there. Like, You can't die off the wall. You know, certain moves that
Yeah.
take help when you're at the 1 HP. It doesn't, it still doesn't matter. So
Yes, you must get support cannot end your life. You must get the final hit to end someone's life. Of course, Shadow Mewtwo going to do a lot of damage to himself throughout all these attacks. They look very flashy, but if you watch his health, he's doing damage to himself at the same time.
reminds me of Pichu from Melee.
Yeah.
Except this character is
much better.
Yeah, he's not underwhelming.
And then once again we see the Fire and Ice Sword.
Ooh, okay.
So he does the double triple dash. It seemed like he was trying to bait an overheat, even though overheat not really a factor right now. Oh, goodness. All that damage on Chandelier.
That is a ton right now. Things looking pretty bad for Catfight.
Oh,
right,
yes.
Take it to the sky for an aerial approach to finish that off.
So Catfight tried to anti-air him with the up Y, but you know, when you're in Synergy Burst, you have Super Armor to all light attacks, including those anti-airs. So he was able to dive kick right through that. Playing very patiently now, it seems. Oh, gets hit by the beam, sadly. And once again, we see Catfight going for that Sneaky Hex after the phase shift.
Nice confirm.
Block him slowly. Probably try to counterattack him on his wake up. So you're gonna get him some health back and probably going to immediately go into a Synergy Burst afterwards. Yep, there it is.
Players. All that jump but not getting it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and honestly, T-Loc doesn't seem like, from what I've seen, oh, that restaurant probably gonna catch him. Yes, that hitbox is huge. So T-Loc does not seem to use his first attack very often while he's in Synergy Burst, but I feel like Chandelier is a character you want to use it against because that burst attack does so much damage and poor Chandelier has so little health.
Yeah, especially like when it's kind of like the waning moments of the match, which is definitely worth going for.
Yeah. For the most part, it seems like T-Loc likes to save it to put the fear in his opponent, but
which in itself can be just as dangerous, and we've seen that several times, you know, already this weekend.
Yep.
Like it just forces you to respect it so hard.
Ooh, Vortex on wake up, probably trying to bait an overheat.
Oh, but going up and over to get the round.
That was a good, a good attempt by Catfight. The Smog has a resist hit stun. Any other attack that T-Loc would have tried would have gotten hit by the Smog, but T-Loc jumps up, that kicks down. That no charge though. That was kind of risky, but paid off for him. Set the count is now 1-1 between these two players. Honestly, both these two players were favorites to win the tournament. Catfight very popular online, and T-Loc very popular in the SoCal scene.
As they should be, man. Two very, very impressive players. Not surprising it's coming down to this last exchange here.
Yo, lock up slowly and grab. That option works so well for Chandelier because you never expect the Chandelier to be that close to you.
Definitely taking advantage of the fact that, oh, he's out of his comfort zone. What's he going to do? I need to get grabbed and fight back.
Yeah. So in field phase, honestly, letting Chandelier break your guard, the only thing you really lose from that is a little bit of your synergy gauge. And honestly, Shadow Mewtwo doesn't care about that too much because the rate at which he gets his synergy meter. Of course, the beam the Chandelier does no chip damage at all, so you can block him free if you want.
Yeah, holding that against Shandy, I do find to be a pretty solid option because, you know, at the end of the day, it's all about minimizing your damage.
Yep. And I promise you, getting your guard broken is way better than taking the damage from the beam itself.
Yeah. Right, off of that.
There it is, the Vortex on wake up. That actually, that does indeed pierce counter. So if Chandelier were to do an overheat on his wake up, that would just break right through it. Catfight trying to fight back against this pillar, but this Vortex gonna get broken. Charge dive kick, yes. Force the block here, and oh no, tries to jump.
Yeah, I think he was initiating that jump, so that's why I called it.
Catfight just throwing out all these attacks, trying to catch. And that Hex is going to grab him before the pillar hits him. And another
back to back,
Hex.
and they're already taking up the hip. They know what time it is.
Yep. And Catfight takes it in a very hard-fought battle. over T-Loc.
Yes, very well played. Great execution. The back-to-back Hex.
Honestly, that's really what Catfight is known for. He'll play the entire match. He'll play an entire round just doing nothing but beam, and then next round, Hex, and a third Hex to close it out.
But that's good. That's good mix-ups right there. And he's well aware of what he's doing and just booked himself a trip to Winners Finals. Nice. Which I think Winners Finals, Losers Finals, and Grands are all